Every 10 American shoppers are expected to purchase a fitness tracker during the holiday season. That's according to business tech publication Information Week, which Dan reads from on a weekly basis. But it's all about fitness trackers, and they're not all equal. And our tech expert, Dan Thompson, is here this morning to talk a little bit about it. Good to see you, Dan.
Yeah, good to see you. It's a lively bunch this morning.
I know it is. This Fitbit, Moira wore one of these just to track her sleep. At one point. Talk about some of the different ones that are on the market.
Yeah, so, you know, as you were saying, the fitness trackers are extremely popular these days, and there's a ton of them out there. And what I would like to talk about this morning, not necessarily which one of these is better than the other, but kind of give people an idea of how to evaluate these things, because they are not all created equal. However, it would be hard to know that just simply by looking at the box. And here's what I mean. Almost all the fitness trackers, you know, are pedometers. They'll all do sleep tracking. Most of the newer ones will do heart rate monitoring and things like that. But what some of them don't do is kind of tell you how to use that information. So as an example, so this is the Fitbit you were talking about. Moira was wearing one of these for the sleep tracking segment you guys did a couple of weeks ago. What Fitbit does really well is they kind of quantify all the data that you give it. So as an example, Fitbit will calculate the calories that you're burning throughout the day just normally. So like you and I sitting here not doing anything but talking are burning calories. Most of the fitness trackers don't acknowledge that you're burning calories. So like if you're trying to plan a diet plan or you're counting calories, like those fitness trackers are not necessarily as helpful, because while you may see how many calories you burn during an exercise, you don't really see how many calories you just burn throughout the day. The other piece is the heart rate monitor. So this is the this is the Things pulse. It's kind of hard to get a feel for it. It's a little tiny thing. You can actually just drop
it right there for us, Dan, so we can get a shot of it.
All right. You can just drop it in your pocket instead of having to wear it around your wrist, which is nice. Some people will appreciate that. And it does have the heart rate monitor on it. But here's the kind of the catch, is it will tell you what your heart rate is, but it doesn't really tell you what do I do with that information. So, you know, is 99 beats per minute, is that good? Is that bad? Is that what it should be when I'm exercising?
Right.
So it's kind of hard to sort of extrapolate the data from the data, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is an example. This is a wrist strap for this particular model that you're seeing there. So,
does the Fitbit tell you good or bad on what's going on?
Yes, Fitbit tends to, their app that comes along with it tends to kind of correlate all this information and kind of give you a better picture. Jawbone actually also has a really good app that also correlates all this information and presents it to you in a meaningful way. So it's not just an array of sensors and a bunch of numbers, but it's actually like intelligible data that I can kind of act on. So I can say, hey, my heart rate was elevated for 20 minutes while I was exercising. That's a good thing. It means I burned more calories. So these are sort of the things that we think about when we're evaluating these fitness trackers. Some of the ones, you know, like if you get one of the lesser expensive ones, maybe it doesn't kind of fill in those blanks for you. So anyway, interesting things to think about as you're evaluating them. One I wanted to draw specific attention to is the iBits.
Okay.
Now this one is specifically for kids. And what's interesting about it is they combine it with games on your iPad or your iPhone. So if you have a kid that you'd like to see be a little bit more active, maybe this is a way that would encourage them. Basically, as they move and as they exercise, it wins them points inside games, and it sort of feeds this. They get like this little character, it's like this little rabbit, and as they exercise, it kind of feeds the rabbit and gives it energy, and so it kind of, you know, as their daily activity kind of plays into things, they get rewards in the games and things like that. Yeah. So I thought that one was a really interesting twist on all the fitness tracker stuff.
All right.
Maybe something new for your kids.
You know, we've had rabbits on this show before.
No, I'm
Thanks,
very
Dan.
familiar.
You're going to be over on Mornings Fox 43 with more information. All right. And we're going to be back with national headlines coming up next.